Okay, here's the living environment regions video. We're talking about the metric system today, metric measuring under the microscope. And you can see in the back there we have a plant cell. You can see the cell wall and so forth. So in metric measuring under the microscope, you're given a species and you have to measure it, which we'll do today. So we're going to be talking about, if I get my pen working, we're going to be talking about measurements in the micrometers. Micrometers. And there's a special symbol. It's a Greek letter mu with that M. And that's mu without two O's. It's just mu. Mu. Micrometers. And it's important to know that there's 1,000 micrometers in 1 millimeter. And you should also know that for 1 centimeter, that equals 10 millimeters, and so forth. So let's look at a slide. And make sure my pen's working. Now there's a few questions we can ask with this slide. So this is a popular picture that is on some region exams and some living environment tests. So here we have a field of view under the microscope. And you can see right here that from this point to that point, it's 1 millimeter. So the first question we can ask, well, if it's 1 millimeter, how many micrometers should that be? Well, like we said before, 1 millimeter equals 1,000 micrometers. So if we use yellow, we know that this area here is 1,000. I should change the color actually. Use green, comes out a little more. 1,000 micrometers. So that's one question we can ask. Another question we can ask here is, what is the field of view? What is the field of view? How large of an area do we have under this? So that means we want to know roughly between here and here, what is the field of view? So we can count by micrometers or millimeters. So let's look at the millimeters. We know that from here to here is 1 millimeter. And let's count how many slash marks we see. We see 1, this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 here. So each slash, well, not counting the first one because that's the first one, that's 1. And then this one would be 10. So 1/10 of a meter, of a millimeter, is 1 slash mark. Fix that H. So we know that from here to here is 1/10 of a millimeter, or 0.1. So let me clear that out. It's getting a little sloppy. Clear it all out and let's look again. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that'll be 10/10ths or 1 millimeter. 0.1 millimeters is how many micrometers? Well, it's just about moving the decimal. We said there's 1,000 micrometers in 1 millimeter. So we have to move the decimal 3 times to get the micrometers. Here's 0.1. Move it 3 times. 1, 10, 100, 1,000. So that'll be 100 micrometers. 0.1 millimeters is 100 micrometers. And so we can look at this. Each slash then is 100 micrometers. We have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. 1,000 micrometers, which we know already. But what is the field of view? Each slash now is 100 micrometers. So we could say there's 1,000 here, 100, 200 maybe, 300, 400, 500. So the field of view is about, and we can use this about sign, 1,500 micrometers. So that's the question. Now, a question that appeared on some living environment exams is, what is the size of the nucleus? What is the size of one cell nucleus? So let me clear that out. Remember, not one cell, but the cell's nucleus. What is that size? Well, we can see that from there to there is just one unit. 1 unit, or 0.1 millimeters. So in micrometers, it would be what? 100 micrometers. I'll show you that symbol, that mu symbol. Let me show you that mu symbol. It's a better version of the mu symbol over there. Disappeared. Bring it back. So right here, that's mu, right? Symbol for micrometer. So let's see. If I had 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters equals how many micrometers? What do you think? Well, we know that if we take 2 centimeters, it'll equal how many millimeters? Remember, 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. So 2 centimeters would be 20 millimeters. Now we have 20 millimeters. How many micrometers do we have? What do you think? So again, you can use the decimal, right? So 20 point 0, and move it 10, 100, 1,000. Fill in those zeros. So 20 millimeters is 20,000 micrometers, or 2 centimeters. All you have to do is move the decimal, that's it. So let's look at another problem. Okay, so let's look at another problem. So this is not under the microscope, but it's a practice to convert centimeters into millimeters and to micrometers. So what is the length of leaf A? Leaf A right over here. What is the length? So remember, you're not starting at 0, you're starting at 1. Going 1 to here. So it's not 6.5 centimeters, it's 5.5 centimeters. And remember, there's 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. So again, we just have to move it once to get 55 millimeters. And remember, 1 millimeter is 1,000 micrometers. So how many micrometers would that be? With 55. We have to move it 3 times from the decimal. Remember, the decimal is 55.0, right? So we move it 1, 2, 3. Just fill in those zeros. It's 3 because it's 10, 100, 1,000. So 55,000 micrometers is the length of that leaf. But you won't use micrometers. You're only going to use micrometers under the microscope. So it's important, though, if you see this, to find the length of the leaf. They might ask you for it in millimeters, and you can do that. So another question is how much longer is leaf A than leaf B? So we know that leaf B is 55 millimeters. So we'll just subtract. What is leaf B? Leaf A is 55 millimeters. Well, it starts here, and it goes to about there. So we could say 4.5 or 45 millimeters. So the difference would be 10 millimeters. And what's 10 millimeters in centimeters? The difference is just 1 centimeter, right? Going backwards. All right, let's go back to the microscope. So again, when you're seeing a question like this, make sure you read it carefully and make sure you know what they're asking you. So in one of the questions, to trick you, they say, what is the length of one cell's nucleus, right? They didn't ask for the length of the cell. So what is the length of a cell anyway? Change it. Maybe we'll use green. So the length of the cell again was from here to here, which was, we know it's half a millimeter or 0.5 millimeters. And again, what is 0.5 millimeters in micrometers? We move the decimal 3 times, right? 10, 100, 1,000. Be 500 micrometers. So, but when we ask for the nucleus itself, be careful, which we did in the previous, which we did previously, that is. So we should know the field of view. You should know how to convert. Make sure you look at it carefully. Okay, that's our video today.